Hey guys and girls and golden Ordo oldies, welcome back to the Ordocast, and this is episode 3, 8-bit Ordo. I just want to start by saying a big thank you to the community for all the feedback you've given me on the Ordocasts, and it's been great to read your messages, your responses, ideas and suggestions. And believe me, they haven't fallen on deaf ears. I've got a whole list of different things that are going to be tried, see what works, see what don't work, and eventually paste it all in. And this week we're going to go over some of the usual stuff, the best of the shoutbox, chapter news, gaming news, and so on and so forth. But we also introduce a new section that was hotly requested, and that's the tech news, be it news on gaming platforms such as Steam and Origin, OS stuff, hardware news, and so on. And we'll start with it being light, so expect that later on in the show. And we'll see how it goes, and I just hope it's what you guys are looking for. So let's jump straight in with some news from the shoutbox. Zevrand had a link to post in response to hearing that the Steam sales were starting soon, and I will throw that link into the post. And it is kind of funny, and a few members have been trolled with it. Moshcrate, who is a new member to the Imperium, says, hello, just joined. Looking forward to seeing you guys in Wildstar. So it's great to see you guys are recruiting over there in Wildstar. And Keisha Oshima had this to say, in better news for the rest of the world, Sepp Blatter is stepping down as the FIFA president. That's cool and all, but it just means some other a-hole is going to step in and keep the status quo. Sorry for football fans. And yes, it is football, not soccer. And I get to say that because I'm an Englishman. And so we'll move on to awards and promotions, and as of recording this there are no awards or promotions, but I know there are awards and promotions due to go up, and so in the meantime just keep doing what you guys are doing, and remember that anyone can recommend anyone else for any award. Whether they get it or not is down to the people who review that. And to get rewards, just keep doing what you're doing, get recognised, and yeah, if what you're doing is a good job, someone will recommend you for an award. And so now we move on to some chapter news. And we'll start with Star Wars The Old Republic. Recently, the developers did a live stream showing off the new Yavin 4 Stronghold and the Togruta race. And what we could take away from that is that there's going to be 16 centerpiece hooks. The outside of the stronghold is absolutely vast. It is the biggest stronghold to date, with plenty of hooks on the outside for decorating. The cost, they didn't hesitate a guess on, but they said it's going to be somewhere around the same cost for Tatooine, so expect it to be around anywhere between 2 and 4 million. That's what I'm guessing. There's 2 starship hooks. There's buttons all over the place so you can get around quicker. But what we do know is that the Yavin Stronghold will release with patch 3.3. That was confirmed on the stream. Togruta, the new playable race, that's a possible for patch 3.3. They're going to try, but obviously there's still a lot of artwork that needs to be done, make sure things fit properly and whatnot. And they confirmed that patch 3.3 will release on July 21st. However, that may be sooner, depending on how quickly they can get through the tech. Also for Star Wars news, the devs recently released a statement as an update on squelching and credit spams. There's a rather lengthy post there, and what I'll do is I will throw that into a spoiler into the post so you guys can read that yourself. Also, for those that have bought them before from places like Best Buy and Amazon, Cartel coin cards, when you use them they gave you a unique little mini pet. Well, they've done it again, and this time it's with a little glowing baby Rancor. There's 7 different varieties, so whether you get a different one depending on where you bought your card or whether it's potluck, I don't know yet. However, I do tell a lie, there's actually 9 varieties. I'm just looking at the post now, and they are available from Amazon, Target, Best Buy and GameStop, and so I'm guessing it's going to be sort of potluck on which one you get. But what I'll do, I'll throw a little picture up into the post, into a spoiler, so you guys can view it. There was also a post about the economy and ranked reward changes for patch 3.3, which is incoming, And again, it's quite a lengthy post, so what I'll do is I'll either link to that or put it into a spoiler for you guys. But needless to say, there's quite a lot of changes, especially when it does come to PvP, including gear cost, increased Warzone rewards, legacy lockboxes, the rank reward system, and other miscellaneous changes to PvP. And let's not forget that also the Nar Shaddaa nightlife event starts very soon. It starts June 9th, so that's 3 days away from now. So make sure you guys have got plenty of credits to fill that credit sink and get some cool rewards from it. We'll move on now to Guild Wars 2. And Guild Wars 2 talking about Stronghold map changes from the June 2nd beta, and there's a lot of stuff in there. It reads mostly like patch notes. For those lucky enough, you would have taken part in that beta, which was on the 2nd of June. So you'll probably know most of this if you was involved, but for those that didn't, I will throw these notes up into a spoiler on the forum. And it is confirmed that WildStar will be going free to play. They're pretty much following close to an SWTOR model where F2P players are hugely reduced into the game. On their main website, they have a table showing exactly what free-to-play players and subscribers will have differently. Obviously, be it outfits or costumes you can wear, how many decorations you can put up. I think free-to-play players get 1,000, subscribers get 2,000, and so on and so forth. It is an exhausting post to read. I sat here as I was making the notes for the Ordocast, and it was like, I'm not going to be able to read all this off. If I do, the Ordocast is going to go beyond 20 minutes, well into another 1 hour Ordocast just reading the WildStar information by itself. So what I'll do is I'll throw a link to that into the forum post or spoiler, and you guys can read through all that to your heart's content. Obviously, the free-to-play model has got very mixed reviews, a lot of positive, a lot of negative, especially with the regular negative views that, oh my god, it's going free to play, it's going to kill the game, da 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 da. It's down to you guys what you think of it. Obviously, free to play means more players. Their goal is they want to bring more people into WildStar with the hope that they'll eventually go into subscriber status. And it's a hot topic with any game there is. So, WildStar players, leave your thoughts and feelings in the post below, and let's see where you stand as Ordo yourselves. We actually have some PlanetSide 2 news this week, and PlanetSide 2 launches on PlayStation 4 on June 23rd. So 23 days from now, PlanetSide 2 will launch on PS4, which is great news for you PS4 players. And so for those of you unfamiliar with the game, you're in for a wild ride, as PlanetSide 2 is a revolutionary, massive-scale first-person shooter where soldiers battle as one in strategic, targeted missions against enemy empires in all-out planetary war. So I know there's quite a lot of people in Ordo who play PlanetSide 2. For a while, it was the main game that was being played. And so it's great news, and it's great to see it going to PS4 as well. So for you PS4 players, you've got another F2P game to play. We'll move on now into gaming news, and as we all know, the Fallout 4 trailer was released just a few days ago. It started with Bethesda putting up a link on a website where when you looked at it, it was just a clock that was ticking down through 24 hours up until the release, and it looked absolutely amazing. And so yeah, it is official that Fallout 4 is coming. The trailer doesn't leave us really much to analyze, but the main thing to know is that it does take place in Boston, and we presume that you begin as a resident of Vault 111. And there are some other clues in there. It's being hotly debated on places like Reddit and Facebook. And so if you haven't seen the trailer yet, you can just look below in the post, or you can go to the game news section and look for the Fallout 4 thread to take a look there. Team Fortress 2. They're now doing the Maps Workshop. And the new Maps Workshop, which is currently in beta, collects up the community's vast range of unofficial maps and puts them all together in one place. And this is what Valve had to say about it. Are you great at making fun, addictive TF2 maps? Do you have no idea how to make a map but you like playing on them? Or are you only vaguely aware of what maps are and prefer to just walk in a single direction until you find what you're looking for? Introducing the new Workshop beta for maps, a place for all three of you to upload, enjoy, or just learn about the existence of maps for Team Fortress 2. And I will put the URL for that post into our post below so you guys can read through that. And for Final Fantasy fans, you'll be pleased to know that Final Fantasy Type 0 is coming to PC. Square Enix has confirmed via Twitter that Final Fantasy Type 0 HD is coming to Steam. Originally it was a PSP game, and Type 0 is a mission-based RPG with occasional bits of RTSing. It was recently re-released in the HD version for the non-portable console, so a PC version made sense to make. And I will throw the trailer in below. And Type 0, for those of you who played it, will agree it's pretty much batshit crazy, especially for Final Fantasy games, but it is a huge amount of fun, and I can't wait to get my hands on this again once it releases to Steam. And as again, I will put the link down below. And news of a new open beta for a game called Dirty Bombs. And it seems as one game leaves open beta, so another one comes in, and I think that's how it's supposed to work anyway. But the game in question is Dirty Bombs, and it's a team-based F2P FPS from Splash Damage, who are the makers of Enemy Territory, and for those that have played it, Quake Wars and Brink. And for those that play Brink, even though it's now wasn't very successful at the time, it's got a huge cult following now, and it's a really fun game to play. I will throw the trailer in down below. It does look like a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to be playing it, and it would be great if I could see some of you guys in there too, because it does look like a lot of fun. And so now we'll move into some entertainment news, and the news broke that Microsoft are to appear on stage at E3. And this is what their lead guy had to say. For us, the PC Gaming Show is the ideal place to speak directly to PC gamers, and it's a great time to talk about Windows 10, the best operating system we've ever created for gamers on PCs. Microsoft's head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, said that with Windows 10, we're bringing the best of Xbox with the best of Windows gaming, including Xbox Live and the new Xbox app Game DVR for nearly every game, and it brings about a solid, stable version for DirectX 12 for better gaming, graphics, and performance. It may seem a little weird and kind of a slap in the face to be talking about Xbox at a PC gaming section of E3, but it will be interesting to see what I mean, because obviously not so long ago there was an interview with Phil Spencer, and he was asked about ports from Xbox 360 and Xbox One to PC, more specifically the Halo series, and he said that although there were no plans currently to do that, there will be an opportunity to do that in the future, and this is before news of Windows 10 broke, so that's probably what he was alluding to. So it might be a case of he'll talk about new games, Microsoft getting back into gaming for PC platforms, because for the longest time it wasn't supported thanks to Xbox 360 and then the Xbox One. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And speaking of which, we do have E3 coming up, and it was confirmed by Twitch that they will be live streaming most of the panels and the events live when that goes out, and so I will put the links for those in the post down below, which also has a list of all the companies and games that are going to be shown. And in other news, specifically for you Star Wars fans, there are more rumours of a future Star Wars film trilogy and other Star Wars content that have surfaced. Shortly after we learned that there's a possibility of a Han Solo and Boba Fett trilogy taking place in an anthology film, there have been reports that a source has linked information heard in the Disney halls about an entertainment giant being taken into negotiations with Ewan McGregor to reprise the role of Obi-Wan Kenobi as a possible trilogy. Now let's let that sink in for just a minute. A Star Wars trilogy based on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now that's going to be interesting. That's going to be very interesting. If it's true, and I can see this getting so much rage and so many forum arguments, it is unreal. But that's the news. And so we'll move on to tech and platform news, and we'll start with Steam, who have released a statement about Steam refunds. Now, I'm not going to go too much into this. I'm going to let you guys read it for yourself. But basically, what Steam have said is that no matter what game you get, as long as you've played less than 2 hours of the game, they will give you a full refund, no questions asked. However, if you've had a game for a while and you've played more than 2 hours of it, you can still ask for a refund on a game, and they will look at it on a case-by-case basis. I do have the full report, and it will be going into a spoiler into this post below. So make sure you pay very close attention to it. And moving on, Windows 10 is due to launch on June 29th. Now, most of you would have noticed a smart little Windows icon appearing in your taskbar. And if you have, you should click on it for more information about Windows 10. Now, Windows 10 is being given free to everyone who has Windows 7 upwards. Everyone will get it. As long as it's not an enterprise edition of Windows, you will get Windows 10 for absolutely nothing. And by clicking this icon, you get to fill in your email address and information, and it will reserve a copy for you. And what's going to happen is, for those who have reserved copies, they haven't stated whether it's going to be a week or just a few days before it goes live, but once Windows 10 goes live on June 29th, you get to pre-download and install everything. And then on that day, bang, it goes live. So I'm not quite sure how they're going to actually do that, because you're downloading a complete OS to install over another one anyway. So whether it's a case of it just downloads everything and then on the 29th you can then install it, I don't know. It seems kind of weird how they worded it, but there is plenty of information about Windows 10. They talk a lot about gaming on Windows 10, it being a very work-focused operating system. They talk a lot about the new AI, Cortana, and a lot about the new Internet Explorer. Yeah, they can change the name, but we all know it's IE, Internet Explorer. Doesn't matter how much they gussy up. But from what people have seen and reviewed, they've said it works a lot like Firefox and Chrome. You've got your additional add-ons you can do, apps, extensions, and things like that. Again, it's something that's met with a lot of mixed reviews, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens, see how exactly it works. But as they say, Windows 10 is a free upgrade for a limited time for qualified Windows 7 and Windows 8.1 devices, including the devices you already own. Cortana is available in selected global markets. All apps are sold separately and may vary. Features only available in supported games of Xbox Live in supported countries, and so on and so on and so forth. But again, I will put the link down below. And I think we're closing in on the end of this Ordocast. The goal is for Ordocast to keep it around about 20 to 30 minutes long. I know the last one was insane because I had Keisha on the show and we ran to like an hour and 40 minutes. It's not often when I will have guests on Ordocast, but when I do, expect it to go well over the 20-minute mark. But I will try to keep it down to around about the 50 minutes to an hour mark instead of nearly going on 2 hours. So I do apologise for that, although I do hope you found it a lot of fun. And so I'm Esfer. This is episode 3 of the Ordocast, 8-bit Ordo, and I'll be back soon with episode 4. I hope you guys have a fantastic morning, day, evening, or whatever it is you're listening to this. And please do remember that you can now download Ordocast or listen to Ordocast in MP3 format through your phones, tablets, iPhones, iPads, online, and everything. See the Ordocast archive thread for more information, and there will be a link in this post that you can click to get to the MP3 version, and all files are hosted on Google Drive, and no, you do not need a Google account to access it. So, have a great day. I am Esra, and this was Ordocast episode 3, 8-Bit Ordo. Have a great one, everyone.